Hi, it's Sarah here at the Soapery, and today I'm going to teach you how to make another one of our really popular products. Now today we're going to learn how to make the Linen Fresh Deodorant. That is a really popular product because not only does it contain no parabens, nothing nasty whatsoever, also it's really effective in hot weather, cold weather, and it's quite long lasting as well. It's a really good bar to have in your bathroom or your drawer. So I'm going to teach you how to make these yourself so you don't have to run out. All you need to do to begin with is to go onto our website and to download the Linen Fresh Deodorant recipe, and that will tell you everything you need to gather to create this recipe, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you have your recipe, and this is a recipe of 3 parts. This is a recipe of the oils and waxes that we melt, the powders that we then add, and the fragrance that we add last. And that's essentially what we're going to do. We're going to melt the oils, we're going to add the powders, then we're going to add those. But I'll walk you through it. So we've got soya wax and shea butter and coconut oil. Now the coconut oil we use here is the one that melts at a higher temperature than the one that you'd use in cooking. It's the one that's used for cosmetics. So I think it's 90 something degrees Fahrenheit that it melts at, rather than 70 something, 76 or 72 degrees Fahrenheit the other one melts at. So just it's a darker, whiter thing. If you use the other one in this recipe, you're going to end up with quite a melty product, I think. I think it's going to be too melty. It's going to be the sort of deodorant you're going to have to constantly keep in the fridge or even the freezer. So for this recipe, do be careful what coconut oil you use, because I think that is important in this recipe. So yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop that pan on a low heat and leave it. And now I'm going to go and weigh out the powders that we need. It's very simple in the recipe, each gram of what you need in there. And then we're going to weigh out the fragrance. Now, just while that's melting, a word about moulds. You could use whatever you like. Bear in mind that you're going to be putting this product under your arm. So you want it kind of stick-shaped. I know that's kind of cute, but it's not very stick-shaped. But you've got options. We use these cube moulds that you can get. They're from a company called Silicomart, and they use them a lot on the Bake Off and other programs because they create a really beautiful cube for a dessert. You can use these, or you can go to Lakeland or somewhere like that and get just the really large ice cube molds. Would work a treat for this if you have any. They're also really good for ice cubes because they fill a whole glass, just one ice cube. So they're a good investment, or anything like that. Or I don't know if you'd want a smaller bar, but if you've got like a really big muffin tray, maybe you could use that. It would be a round one. Anything that would sort of fit comfortably under your arm, any shape really would do. So that's what you need. You need some muffin trays, and we're good to go. So I'm just going to leave this to melt, and then we'll come back. So now our oils are melted. We're going to take them off the heat and stir in everything else. So we've just taken them off the heat, and we're going to add all of the powders. Now, there's a lot of powders here. We'll just add them gradually. You can see that, can't you? And stir a bit. Now, because of 2 of the ingredients, you will get a little bit of a reaction, but because of all the other ingredients, it won't be that noticeable or that dramatic. Also, this recipe says arrowroot powder. Now, arrowroot powder is fantastic stuff. And a lot of people say, if you don't have any, you can use corn flour, or as the Americans call it, cornstarch. Don't. I'm not a big fan of corn flour, because the problem with any corn products is the same as any soya products. You've got to be really, really careful what you're buying, because soya and corn are things that have been so genetically modified to be used in the animal food chain, that for animal feed, that it's hard to find corn flour that you can trust. I would stick to arrowroot powder. It's really good, but it's up to you. Okay, so put that much in. Just keep stirring. Put too much in, it'll just go everywhere and get all lumpy and nasty. So just keep going with the spoon. There we go. It's getting thicker. It will get thicker and thicker and thicker. Okay. There we go. That's the last of it. Now, this is getting quite difficult to stir now, so I'm going to use my stick blender. Just give it a bit of a whiz. There you go, and you should have some pretty sludgy mess. That's perfect. Perfect sludgy mess is right there. And actually, we'll leave that in because we need it to do the last bit of mixing, which is your fragrance oil. Now, you don't have to use the fragrance oil we say in the recipe, but we've told you the one that we use. Pop that in. And one quick blend. And now we want to get that into a jug so we can start to pour it into the moulds. So time is of the essence here, because it will solidify quite quickly because it's got so many clays in it. It wants to go hard. So put that there and pour. Okay, so we're just going to give them a little tap or a drop or something. A bit less violent, maybe. Okay, so this recipe makes, I've made double and I've got 9 deodorants just. So I'd say you can get a comfortable 4 if they're these big ones. If you're using large ice cube trays, you could probably get a bit more than that out of them, maybe 5 out of a recipe. So 4 or 5, because they're quite large deodorant bars. Okay, so leave these to cool, and we'll come back later on. Hi, so here we are with our finished deodorants. So what we did was we left them in the moulds to sit for a long time. And then once they were really hard, pop them in the freezer for a little while. The details are on the recipe. And then gently popped them out from the bottom of the mould. And now what we need to do is just leave them, because they're still a little bit frozen. We need to leave them to sit at room temperature for overnight's usually best, 8 to 12 hours, just to harden some more, dry some more, and defrost a bit. And then you can give them as presents, use them yourself, or you can sell them. You could put your own little labels on and that sort of thing. If you want to know any more about selling cosmetics and skincare in the UK, drop me an email to sarah@sarahsoapery.com and I can give you some advice about the latest legislation surrounding that. It does keep changing in the UK since Brexit, so I don't want to put anything on here that might become out of date very quickly. So there we have it, your own deodorant. I'm trying to work out how long 9 deodorants would last me as a human being. Quite a long time. So enjoy your natural deodorant and enjoy lovely, soft, dry armpits.